Welcome back. The details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi instructed on Tuesday fixing the state's approach by managing its resources, lands and facilities across governorates as constant strategy for the state. During his meeting with Interior Minister Mahmoud Tawfiq, Minister of Public Business Sector Hisham Tawfiq, Major General Amir Saeed Ahmed, Presidential Advisor for Urban Planning, the President also directed to achieve the maximum possible economic and investment revenue for assets affiliated to the public sector to consolidate the state's approach to good management of what it owns. Presidential spokesman Bassam Rodi said the meeting tackled reviewing the plans of the Ministry of Public Enterprise sector for the optimum utilization and development of assets and lands belonging to business sector companies at the level of the state. During the meeting, the head of state was also briefed on efforts to count unexploited assets in the public business sector, especially land areas, and measures planned to be implemented in order to maximize benefits from them. Furthermore, the President mourned Chadian President Idris Deby Itno, who was killed on the battlefield in a fight against rebels on Tuesday. In a message, the President sent his deepest condolences to the Chadian people and all Africans for the death of President Deby. The national and wise leader exerted his utmost efforts for the sake of the nation and is serving African causes and dealing with many challenges. The stunning announcement of Deby's death came just hours after electoral officials had declared him the winner of the 11th presidential election, paving the way for him to stay in power for 6 more years. The details.
Chad's President Idris Deby Itno died on Tuesday from wounds sustained in battle after 3 decades in power. The shock news came only the day after the 68-year-old career military man was proclaimed the winner of a presidential election that had given him a 6th term in office. The army also announced a curfew and border closures after the death, as well as the dissolution of government and the parliament. France paid tribute to Chad's president as a courageous friend and great soldier, whilst urging stability and a peaceful transition in the African country after his shock death. The statement emphasized France's insistence on the stability and territorial integrity of Chad as it faces a push by rebel forces towards its capital. On Monday, the army had claimed a great victory in its battle against the rebels from neighboring Libya, the Front for Change and Concord in Chad, or FACT. Ministers and high-ranking military brass had said Monday that Deby was in the region on Saturday and Sunday after the rebel offensive. The army said he'd been commanding his forces at the weekend as they battled rebels who'd launched a major incursion into the north of the country on Election Day, April the 8th. The army said a military council led by the late president's 37-year-old son, Mohammed Idris Deby Itno, a 4-star general, would replace him. The council has already met to draw up a transitional charter without further delay. Deby's son oversaw his father's security as head of the elite presidential guard and often appeared alongside him, wearing dark glasses. Deby had ruled Chad since taking power in 1990.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli headed a high-level delegation to the Libyan capital Tripoli on Tuesday. During the visit, Madbouli held talks with head of the Libyan National Unity Government, Abdelhamid Dbeibeh, over a number of issues of mutual concern before the 2 premiers held a joint press conference. Madbouli and Dbeibeh also signed a number of cooperation agreements in various domains. The delegation includes ministers of electricity, petroleum, manpower, education, international cooperation, health, communication, housing, transportation, civil aviation and trade, as well as the head of the State Investment Authority and a number of representatives of investors and concerned bodies. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry arrived in Congo's capital Kinshasa on Tuesday on the 4th leg of his African tour. Earlier in South Africa, Shoukry delivered a message from President Sisi to South Africa's president over developments to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam file and Cairo's stance regarding the issue. Shoukry said Egypt appreciates efforts by South Africa in the file during its chairmanship of the African Union. The top diplomat also reviewed during the meeting with the South African leader the outcome of the latest meetings in Kinshasa, Dr. Congo. He said Egypt has proved during the meetings that it has a genuine political will to reach a serious negotiation path that will lead to a binding legal deal over the operation and filling of one that would achieve the interests of the three countries and preserve their water rights. Shokri's stop in South Africa was the latest in a tour that included a number of African countries to deliver messages from President Sisi to their respective leaders over the developments of the GERD file and Cairo's stance with regards to the issue.